Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Ah, we were joking this morning that next time the congregants sit here and the choir's out here. So our growing choir, it's just amazing. It's stupendous. So anyway, welcome to Unity of Fort Collins on this lovely Memorial Day weekend. How many of you have family members who served in the armed forces? Look around. Hold your hands up. Family members in the service. That's a bunch of us. So I've been watching a series called My Grandfather's War. Other people have seen it. My dad was an intelligence officer and sent young men out on bombing missions. And many of them, many, did not come home. And he carried that weight with him throughout his life. So the scars of war, even for the survivors, last generations. So we'll bless those who served, who carry the stories for those of us who didn't know the stories, who are reclaiming the stories, who are looking for peace and understanding about what happens to folks in war times. So blessings to all of your relatives and blessings to Chuck this morning. How many of you are newcomers to Unity this morning? Would you raise your hand? And we'd like to plunk a welcome packet in your hand. Nancy's got one. We've got a few newcomers today. Welcome to Unity of Fort Collins. We got a bunch of folks online as well. Hi, folks online. We're glad you're here. I was thinking that this might be a small group today because it's a long weekend. But I think we've got a choir. So the choir is going to, I don't know, this choir is growing. Like, whoa, this is amazing. I have a few announcements this morning. Jim Yeaw is going to be talking this morning about the question if unity is a cult. If it is, I'm in. All in. Nancy Hughes is reading, and the musician is John Magny, and the Unity Choir. Woohoo. Sounded great. And you will see some vintage 70s costumes. All right. For those, can I call up folks who have announcements to give today? We'll line you up. You're up, Lil. Moving fast.
Hello. Good morning. I wanted to tell you about the community garden. It is coming up. The beans are coming up. They're getting ready to climb up the poles. There's some peas along the fence. And if you would like to join us on Tuesday night, we're going to plant some more stuff. When they're plants, we plant them a little later. And if you'd like to be involved, you are welcome. You don't always have to come then. We'll need help watering. So bear that in mind. And then the social committee hasn't met in quite a while. Things have been happening, but we need to meet. And we need some more people to join us. So we would like to meet next Sunday after service at 11:15. And some of the things that are coming up and we need help with is a picnic, other potlucks, and also some people have been interested in hiking and biking and things like that to plan that. So if you would come and join us or let me know that you're interested, we can put you on the team. Thank you.
There, there is a bulletin board that's new in the back that is a meetup. So if you'd like to go hiking, it's to facilitate community activity. So it's not for use if you want a roommate, but if you want to do something with somebody, check it out back there. Leanne.
Good morning. The facilities team would like to see if we could recruit some volunteer help for the summer. We tried this last year, maybe 2 years in a row now, and it worked pretty well. We need volunteers to help weed around different places on our grounds. We don't use chemicals anymore as part of our effort to be sustainable and earth-friendly, so that takes a little bit of manual work to keep our garden beds clean, or our flower beds cleaned up, etc. So I'm going to pass a clipboard, and it kind of describes different areas. So we're asking you to consider adopting an area for the summer, which has lots of flexibility. You can come and work whenever you want, during a nice cool morning during the week, or anytime you want. And also specifically at the bottom of this sign-up sheet, we're looking for a couple of guys to help John Kuhn this coming Saturday, which is June 3rd. John's got a truck, and we're gonna load up the construction debris from our fence repair. And thank you, Dennis, and I think Robert, you helped. I'm not sure who I'll help, but we've gotten volunteer work to complete all of those fence repairs from the windstorm damage. So I'll pass this around, make sure it gets circulated, please.
Nancy?
This one okay?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to mention, we talked about it last week a little bit about the kids class starting. We're doing a new series of classes on Wayne Dyer's book, Power of Intention. We're going to be talking about the 7 faces of intention. I was hoping to get people from the congregation to come in and teach 1 week on each intention, or a intention. I have several people that have come up. I still need about 3 more people, and then we will have the whole schedule for the next 2 months, which would be amazing. They're a lot of fun to work with. We'll just be doing some affirmations. We'll be working with them in journaling and getting their thoughts down on each of these intentions, as well as we'll be creating really fun face masks for each intention. So what does abundance look like? What does creativity look like in their minds? And they'll be creating a face mask for it. And we'll be learning a song. So anybody that would like to sign up, Julie is going to pass, we have another clipboard, Julie's going to pass a clipboard around for it. But we appreciate anybody that would like to do that. You're welcome.
Last one. Okay, so Leanne Gable, who was just up here a little bit ago, when she got the green bags with the Unity logo on them, she found out from the imprinting company that they had a grant program, and she applied for a grant, and she got it. And so, yeah, thanks, Leanne. And so it gave us the opportunity to get some things that we could give to you all out of our gratitude for all your support, your love, the way you create such a beautiful Unity community. And so I'm going to be passing baskets that you can just take a pad. It has a logo on it, and then has this little coloring portion at the bottom, which is kind of fun. So you can take one and pass it along, and then I'll have them in the bookstore as well as in the entry, so you can always grab one later also if you want. But thanks, Leanne, for that, and just thank you all so much for all your support and being part of this community.
Perfect lead-in. For those of you who are new, I apologize for showing up on the KUNC fundraising drive Sunday. Well, it's not really KUNC, but that's my inspiration. And I met my hero, Denny LaRue, this morning. Denny from KUNC in the old days. KRFC now. It used to be KUNC. Yeah. Oh, it's all good. KRFC now. So Anyway, welcome, Denny. And you give me courage to say, we need to talk about money, folks. In your bulletin, it shows that we are running in a deficit. We feel so prosperous here. It's hard to think that the money doesn't match the energy at the moment. But we aren't quite making it on a monthly basis. This community has a history of doing Wallapalooza fundraisers, like in the nick of time. But Reverend Sharon is an accountant, and it gives her an aneurysm. So we're trying to, wouldn't it be cool if we could just on a monthly basis just raise what we need? So it costs about $2,000 a week average to keep this place going. So some weeks we're close, some weeks not very close, and so we just need to figure out how to do that better. So only those of us with gray hair carry checkbooks anymore. A lot of folks don't know what they are. This is a Zettel. The Zettel is a card reader, and we have 4 of them. We joked about putting them in the basket so we could pass the Zettel, because cash and checks are almost obsolete at this point. There's a QR code. Is it on the screen? Most folks my age look at that and think I have no idea what that is. If you take your camera and put it on photo mode and hover over it, it will tell you what to do. There it is. That's exactly what we'll pull up. 10,000 is a nice number. So if you do that, it'll show up. And the thing that would help us most is if you check the box that says this is a recurring donation. So you don't have to think about it. We don't have to think about it. We all don't have to think about it. And you're donating whether you're here or not on a given Sunday, so you're supporting the community. And we often go to lunch today at the Bluebird, but we often go to lunch. Do you spend as much in the pew as you do for lunch? Is it like a good spiritual meal for you? Anyway, I'm the gal who had trouble asking for babysitting money, so this is a deal for me. But it would really be helpful to our community if we could just kind of up the game. And I think it's important, the council said it's really important for people to know this is the information. We just talk, we can talk openly about money here. So that's it in terms of my fundraising announcement, but thank you. My handle quit shaking. All right. Let's join together in our unity blessing. Our unity centers us in light and peace, allowing us to recognize our God within and to radiate that love to the world. Thank you.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I have got some really good help today. We got Steve Amadei back there on the drums. Got Chris McShay. He's going to be our excellent lead singer. And on guitar, Joe Schicky. And I wanted to tell you that on June 11th, which will be the next service that I do, we're going to see a reappearance of the Unitics, which is Gerald and Corey and Joe Ellen's going to sing a song, and there'll be a choir song too, but look out for that. June 11th, okay?
We'll chop that wood and carry water. What's the sound of one hand clapping? Enlightened man don't know what it is. Every second, every minute, it keeps changing to something different. Enlightened man don't know what it is. Enlightenment says, I don't know what it is. It says it's non-attachment, non-attachment, non-attachment. I'm in the here and now and I'm meditating, but still I'm suffering, but that's my problem. Enlightened man don't know what it is. Oh, wake up! Enlightenment says the world is nothing but a dream. Everything's an illusion and nothing is real. Oh, good or bad, baby, you can change it any way you want it. You can rearrange it. Enlightened man don't know what it is. I chop that wood and carry water. What's the sound of one hand clapping? Enlightened man don't know what it is. Enlightened man don't know what it is, except for you, babe. Enlightened man don't know what it is, it's always up to you. Enlightened man don't know what it is, it's always up to you, baby. Enlightened man don't know what it is. It's always up to you, babe.
Thank you very much, sir. We'd like to get Nancy Hughes up here, do a little reading from Khalil Gibran.
I'm actually changing this. We are not doing self-knowledge today. We're doing teaching. Reverend Jim chose this interesting topic, and I had absolutely no clue on how in the world do I find a reading for this. And I thought, you know, we're all teachers. We're all teachers and we're all students. no matter what path and what direction we're going in our teaching and in our study, we're all teachers and we're all students. So this fits. Okay. Then said a teacher, "Speak to us of teaching." And he said, "No man can reveal to you aught but that which already lies half asleep in the dawning of your knowledge. The teacher who walks in the shadow of the temple among his followers gives not of his wisdom, but rather of his faith and his lovingness. If he is indeed wise, he does not bid you enter the house of his wisdom, but rather leads you to the threshold of your own mind. The astronomer may speak to you of his understanding of space, but he cannot give you his understanding. The musician may sing to you of the rhythm which is in all space, but he cannot give you the ear which arrests the rhythm, nor the voice that echoes it. And he who is versed in the science of numbers can tell of the regions of weight and measures, but he cannot conduct you thither. For the vision of one man lends not its wings to another man. And even as each one of you stands alone in God's knowledge, so must each one of you be alone in his knowledge of God and in his understanding of the earth."
Beautiful. Thank you, Nancy. Okay, we're going to do a song that I wrote here from a title that Rev Sharon gave me. And this one we've got Nicole Zentfeld's going to do lead on this for us.
Good morning.
About there. 1, 2, 3.
You can always come back home. You can always come back home. No matter how far you roam, you can always come back home. Oh, I see love standing in the doorway. Mother love waving as I go, saying, "Daughter, just remember, it's important that you know you can always come back home. You can always come back home. No matter how far you roam, you can always come back home." Choose. Yes, it's easy. Oh, you're already near it. And just reach out for love and return the spirit. It can always come back home. Yes, you can.
Help us out now.
You can always come back home. No matter how far you roam, you can always come back home.
Always.
Oh, Father, set the prodigal son. I know that I don't deserve to be forgiven. Father said, I don't care about that. Son, I'm just so happy that you're back.
You can always come back home.
Oh, yes you can.
You can always come back home. No matter how far you roam, you can always come back
home.
Always come back home.
Oh, don't worry, my son.
You can always come back home.
You know the door is always open.
You can always come back home.
When you're done with your romance,
you can always come back home. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can always come back
it's like
home.
a bird coming back to its nest.
You can always come back home.
Someday your soul will come to rest.
No matter how far you roam, you can always come back
home.
Nicole, Joe and Steve.
And how in the world can I possibly, the energy in this place is way up there, and regardless of what I do, the energy's down here. Go for it. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You're probably wondering when you see the title of this lesson today in the bulletin, which is a question, is unity a cult? Yes. You're wondering probably, what in the world did he pick that title for? What's this all about? Well, I'll tell you a couple of sad stories. As you know, Sharon and I spent about 12 years down in Sun City, Arizona as the ministers, and every once in a while there'd be someone that would ghost us. You know what that is? Yeah. They suddenly disappear. They don't even answer their phone anymore. And sometimes adult children will come to town and get hold of mom or whisk them away from us because they had become involved in this thing called unity. And the kids thought that they were involved in some sort of a cult. It's sad. It's sad, the misinformation that goes around. But yet, out there on the internet, there's all kinds of rumors and misinformation, disinformation. And you know what? I agree with some of it. Let me give you some examples here, but first of all, I think we need to define a cult. So I went to the Collegiate Dictionary, and it says, a quasi-religious group often living in a colony with a charismatic leader who indoctrinates members with unorthodox or extremist views, practices, or beliefs. The only one of you that lives in that group with me is Sharon. Indoctrinates members with unorthodox or extremist views. I don't know. Let's go on. Let's talk about unity. Unity does not claim, under any circumstances, to possess the whole truth or the only truth. Our founder, Charles Fillmore, said, I reserve the right to change my mind. Spirituality is an ever-expanding and ever-growing field, and there's new revelation that's taking place every day. And you have your right to change your mind at any time and not even agree with what a so-called teacher or leader of a unity community is teaching at the time. Next thing. Unity does not require you to accept teachings unquestionably. It's better to live in the question than dogmatic certainty. I've said that so many times in classes. It's better to live in the question. Because in the question, there's always an ever-expanding set of answers. You don't have to believe anything or everything or even a part of what is said in a unity church. Unity does not ask you to leave your current church or your family or your friends. Hallmark of many cults. You'll never hear us ever saying, well, you should leave that husband or wife or friend because they believe differently than what we do. There are no requirements for membership. That's especially true in this community. If you're here for once or twice or 3 times, you consider yourself as a member. The only thing we ask you to do is fill out a name and address form so we have a record. But there's no membership requirements or demands, behavioral, financial, or otherwise, to participate in anything here in this community. Of course, the other side of this coin is there's a responsibility for all of us to participate and support the community financially. You have the absolute freedom to seek God or any other belief, to worship and pray in your own way. Unity leadership is shared rather than embedded in a single leader or leaders. Even our denomination, Unity Worldwide Ministries, does not demand anything from an individual congregation. We are an independent congregation that serves the Fort Collins area, and we don't have to, it's been said like calling the denomination a mothership. Well, that's not true. We are our own community that develops here, and we have our own teachers, leaders, so forth. So, that being said, what is unity? What is it? Unity is a spiritual movement. It seeks God or any other designation that you wish to use, Spirit, Allah, Creator. In fact, that word Allah is kind of interesting. Someone said to me, those of the Muslim faith worship another God called Allah. No, Allah is an Arabic name for God, translated. Unity is a spiritual movement that seeks God as goodness everywhere present. We affirm a spark of divinity in all. It is a positive, practical approach to spirituality. It regards Jesus as a great example of all that is possible for every human being, rather than being a great exception. But go out and search unity and called out on the internet. And there are several examples such as this, 5 or 6 sites where individuals have spent their time and talent and money trying to tell a story that is not what is intended. In fact, one of them is a deputy sheriff in California. There's a Dr. Joe that has a site. He's not even a doctor, but he calls himself that. Usually those with a theological background and training wouldn't approach this sort of a message on the internet. But this is the way that some of our adult children and others, when they check out Unity, this is what they run into. So here's another one. Unity School of Christianity. Ron Wise is the founder of this particular website. So several times in the experience in Arizona, I taught a class that lasted for several weeks, and the name of the book is called Is Unity a Cult? And these are the various topics within this book. There's some of these in the bookstore, and as is my custom, you can go and get one. I think they got listed as $14. Whatever you'd like to pay, please pick up one if you'd like a copy of this, because what I have to say today is only a very brief synopsis in 40 minutes. Here's what Gaz Parker says. This is an exact quotation from the internet. New Age Deception is the name of his site. The core unity beliefs that make it a cult includes God as a principle, not a personal God, and the force of love in all people and things. This is a classic signature of a cult, the depersonalization of God. Okay? He is right. He's 100% right. Unity typically expresses a panentheistic view of God. God is a presence and a power. There is no spot where God is not. I put the EN in red. There's a difference between pantheism and panentheism. The difference being pantheism is where you feel the world is God. The created world is God, is pantheism. Panentheism is God permeates the world. God is in the world. God is part of the world. There's a big difference there. And those that criticize us many times, they call us a pantheistic religion. We're actually panentheistic in our approach. Now I'm going to quote the Bible here, as well as some other religious texts. This is Acts 17:28. For in God we live and move and exist. That is, in God we actually have our being, as even some of your own poets have said, for we also are God's children. Now, when you quote the Bible and you look at that verse out of the book of Acts, doesn't it say we live and move and exist in God? Look at 1 John 4:16. So we have come to know and to believe the love that God has for us. God is love. God's not a person. God's not a being that's in a place called heaven. God is the essence of love. God does not love. God is love. God is love, and whoever abides in love abides in God, and God abides in him. So you know those folks out on the internet that want to criticize unity, they criticize us for the same thing that is taught in the book that they value so much. God is spirit. That's what Jesus said, John 4:24. God is not a person. So even the attempts sometimes in our unity churches where we want to say mother, father, God is not a mother, God is not a father. Now Jesus, when they were quoting Jesus, he often said father, but that's no more truth than another verse that says God is like a mother hen caring for her chicks. God's not a hen. God's not a father. God's not a mother. God is spirit, permeating everything, everywhere present, within you, within me, within everything that there is. Here's a quotation from Islam. A surah is a chapter, and I'm not quite sure of the pronunciation of the chapter name. Say, God is God, the one, God the eternal, the absolute. God begat no one, nor is God begotten, nor is there any equivalent. God is spirit. From the Tao, Chinese religion, right? The Tao, which means the way, is what that word means. The way, rather than saying God, the Tao, the way. The Tao was at rest in open mystery beyond silent desolation in mysterious emptiness. Say it is there, we do not see a shape. If we say it's over there or in that church or in that place, we don't see it. Say it is not there, try to deny it, and it says, yet all things follow it for life. All things derive life from it. So again, the world's great religions, they agree with us. God is spirit. God is love. God is wisdom. God is power. God is presence. All of those qualities. God is the force of life, the eternal life that springs from us, to us, in us. Well, here's another subject quickly. Heaven and hell. Here's a quotation from the internet. In unity, there's no talk about sin, and therefore no eternal hell and no eternal punishment. They deny that hell is a real place, but claim that heaven and hell are states of mind. I agree. I agree. Salvation and unity is attained by a one-ment with God, a uniting of human consciousness with God consciousness. The goal is perfect union with the mind of God. Jesus attained this at one-ment, the same word as atonement. Jesus attained this at one-ment with the divine mind. Indeed, all humanity can. The difference between Jesus and us is not in spiritual capacity, but in manifestation. It's all of our potential. All of us. What does it say in Philippians? I'm quoting the Bible again, right? Philippians 2, 5, and 6. Let this mind be in you that was in Christ Jesus, who being in the form of God thought it not robbery to be equal with God. Blasphemy is the word that could be used instead of robbery there. Jesus didn't think it was blasphemous to say, I and my Father are one. Jesus was potentially perfect, and he expressed that perfection. Other humans are potentially perfect, and they have not yet expressed it. If you're not yet expressing it, I think it's time for us all to get on that road of expressing that potential that's innate in all of us, at all times, in all places, in all situations. Here's another one of our favorite authors on the internet, John Beardsley. Unity denies the reality of sin and evil. They do not recognize man as being sinful or in need of salvation because they believe that every person is a part of God. They teach that we can overcome weaknesses and mistakes through wisdom and right thinking, not by a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. Not by a personal relationship. You see, Jesus was the great example, not the great exception. Romans 8:38. Boy, I bet you've not had so much Bible quotations in this church forever, huh? And I am convinced that nothing can separate us from God's love. Neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, nor our fears for today or our worries about tomorrow. Not even the powers of hell can separate us from God's love. No power in the sky above or the earth below. Indeed, nothing in all creation will ever be able to separate us from God's love. that is revealed in Jesus Christ, or Christ Jesus. Nothing can separate us because we are that love. We are that presence. And you know, that version of Christianity, they teach that there's a great gulf between God and man created by sin. Right there in Romans, the very words of Paul, says nothing can separate us from that love. Because that love presence permeates everything, everybody, every place. There's no spot where God is not. Well, here's one of my favorite authors, Joel Goldsmith. Some of you have been studying his works. And what he has to say, there's not God in you or I. There's only God. There's only that one presence. Manifesting as an individual being. Every one of us are manifesting as an individual being. There's no spot where God is not. You are the place where God shows up. There is only one life. So, that's my tour of the internet this morning. And they define unity pretty accurately. So do you have any questions? I'm giving you a chance to think about all this. Any questions at all? Well, thank you for being here on this Memorial Day weekend. And as I said before, if you want to know deeper, or if you have a friend that says, what are you doing? You're part of a cult, you can give them one of these books and let them discover for themselves the true message of unity. Thank you.
Our thoughts are prayer, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayer. Listen to what you're saying. Higher consciousness, higher peacefulness. God is everywhere. Every thought and deed of prayer.
So we come to our time of meditation. I'd like to invite you just to gently close your eyes. Listen to the quietness, the beat of your heart. So I invite you to breathe in, breathe out.
I breathe in I let go, I release, and I know I forgive, I receive, I can feel, I believe, I am healed, I am whole, I release, I know. No need to push, no need to try, no need to worry or question why. Surrender, let go, release, and know.
May the blessings of God rest upon you. May the peace abide in you.
So let's bless our offering. I invite you to take your offering and hold it in your hands. Hold it in your heart. And we are grateful for everything we are, everything we are to be. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
Send this out to Ann Hudgens for something she mentioned earlier. Oh, money don't get everything, it's true. But what it don't get, unity can use. So give generously today, okay? I need money. That's what I want. Unity needs the money. That's what I want. 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 Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to get our fabulous choir up here, the Communitics. Been having so much fun with this. By the way, I just want to say how rich was Reverend Jim's talk, and just all the. I love the way that the things on the internet that were trying to be negative about about unity were just exactly all the things we love, right? We don't talk about sin and hell and
It's getting crowded here.
needing to feel guilty. This song was written by Jerry Garcia and Robert Hunter. It's talking about ripple. Look at this. We got half the congregation up on stage right now. And also with Elise Wonder. And she, of course, does the every other ceremony, so she'll be here next week. Yeah.
ripple in still waters, where there is no pebble tossed, nor wind to blow.
Reach out your hand. If your cup be empty, if your cup is full, let it be again. Let it be known. There is a fountain that was not made by the hands of men. Ripple in still water, where there is no pebble tossed, no wind to blow. What could cause a ripple effect like that? Love is the only thing that I know. Love doesn't drop in like a pebble or have to be blown in from anywhere, because love is everywhere, sending out a ripple into eternity.
There is a road, no simple highway, between the dawn and the dark of night. And if you go, no one may follow. That path is for your steps alone. Rippling still water, when there is no pebble tossed, no wind to blow, and you but if you fall all alone, should stand, who's to guide you? If I knew the way, I would take you home. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. If I knew the way, if I knew the way, I would take you Thank you so much, choir. That was beautiful. All right. Whew.
Go ahead. Well, thank you, John Magny and the Unity Community Choir. I've got a question for you. What's a zettel? If you don't know what a zettel is, I'd like to invite you to look into it and to be introduced to it. It's in the bookstore, or Julie. Go and look at the zettel, and you can settle with the zettel, okay? Hey, we got some more music, don't we? Yeah, the kids.
this little
Light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
It's gonna light up mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Here on the corner of Lions and Vine, I'm gonna let it shine. Here on the corner of Lions and Vine, I'm gonna let it shine. Here on the corner of Lions and Vine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Like to share something? Right here? Good.
So in the teen group, we did a thing where we went out near the labyrinth and over near the playground. We were finding an object or something that like we feel like it kind of represents us. So we all picked different things and we learned a bit about each other's personalities.
Good.
What did you do today? I found a coin.
Oh.
Today, we went out to the playground in the sandbox and we found a bunch of pennies, about 21 of them. And one rusty nail and a few caps.
In teen group, we found objects that represent you, and we went around the field and picked up different things and picked up what we thought represents you, and you got a couple, and then you decided which one was really you, and then you shared out loud in a circle. And then we did some meditation, that we went in a big field and sat down, and we went up and started walking, and we saw a little house with a path, and you went up the path, and there was an old lady in the house with some cherry pie, and she would let you in, and she hugged you, and she welcomed you in.
Well, thank you for being part of the Unity community, kids. We love you. Go ahead and, yeah. Okay. Well, I guess it's time for us to circle up. Hold hands with an angel. Okay. Oh, settle, which means okay. Okay. Now I'm informed. So our tradition is the prayer, protection, and the peace song. So together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Kathy? Thank you.